Okay, so we're off on a little adventure for an hour or two this evening. Scott's going to be back at the house. He's getting some, gonna cook some steaks and stuff tonight. And I just wanted to hike around this property a little bit, just get a feel for what's over here. This is another one of the old houses that is on his property. And you can see, oh, look, that's a log cabin too, isn't it? And we can come over here detecting and exploring. I don't have my metal detector with me today, or right now anyway, but yeah, that's an old place. Look at that old chimney. You got all the shingles and stuff, but definitely a log cabin though. This would be almost impossible to metal detect, I would think, unless we cleared this out a little bit. Cool old place though. Look at that. Nice chimney. I think that's my favorite chimney, with a stone on the bottom like that, and it goes up, and then they cap it with brick. I see that a lot in old houses, especially in the area where I live. I just really love that. I don't tell them what I'm watching for snakes. Could be all kinds of serpents. Oh, look, there's a jacket. I think that's somebody that's murdered. What the heck is that doing out here? Looks like an old pea coat almost, but I don't think it's a pea coat. Yeah, navy coat. I think it's just some type of dustery looking thing. Oh, wow. Don't see that very often. Okay, got the old flashlight out. I thought we'd take a quick peek in here without hopefully collapsing on our arm. See what we can see underneath there. And we do have to be really careful because there are like, could easily be copperheads and stuff out now. Rattlesnakes and things like that. I don't really see anything in there that's of real interest to you. That's wool right there. That's something that's wool. Good zipper on it, so it's not terribly old. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to get up in there at all. I'm not gonna risk it. Let's walk around the other side. Be careful about nails and stuff. And some bottles, but they're not very old. No jars. All right, let's go around here. Yeah, it's all collapsed in. It's electric box there. I can see the old TV or something in there. I don't think we're going to see anything too old and cool just laying in there. Everything is all logs though. I mean, everything would be rotted to the bottom. That's a shame. All right, what we're going to do, let's do this. There's a couple more barns and buildings out here that went to this place. They're falling down too, but let's go take a look at those. And this has been logged off not too long ago, so we might be able to see some stuff in the dirt. We'll keep our eyes open for that too. Yeah, see, this is why you can't metal detect these places. Look at all these cans. Pull tabs, cans, or like sausage, Vienna sausage. It's absolutely loaded with trash. I guess they probably dumped out behind it back in the day. And by back in the day, I mean like 30 years ago. So, oh, spooky. It's a baby's head, or doll baby's head. Yeah, it would drive you absolutely insane. This would with a metal detector, but we look around, might be able to see a bottle or two, or a mini ball, or a Confederate belt buckle. But that would drive you nuts. With all that aluminum, I mean, you can't discriminate that stuff out. Cinder blocks and stuff, so you know it's not that old. All right, let's go ahead and we're going to work our way. That's an old barn. We'll look at that. And we're going to take a quick spin around these back fields here just to see if we can see anything else of interest. Then we'll have to head back to the house for some supper. Steaks and beer. I need a beer, trust me. I'm absolutely exhausted and thirsty. Yeah, that's what it is. I'm just thirsty. Yeah, so this is a house. I thought it was a barn. But it's got a chimney there. And this log. I thought that was a skull. Is that a rock? I don't know what that is. Yeah, see what I'm talking about? Those nails. Be really super careful. I'm not going to go in here, I don't think, unless we see something really cool. Yeah, this is a log. There's whitewashed logs in there. Kind of all rotted, unfortunately. That chimney doesn't look very old though. And those beams don't really look terribly old, but I could be wrong. But I don't know. Let's look around back. I'm very a little bit afraid to flip this tin over. I was thinking about doing that with a bottle. But yeah, this is the step that they had to get up into the house. Oh wow, look at that. I think yeah, we won't on that. As long as we stay on that board and don't try to step in the middle there. Step on the main boards. Nothing overhead. It's going to hit us. As you can see. Sort of. Yeah, I wouldn't say that's terribly old. Huh. That chimney's made for a stove. This was obviously added on this part out here. So the main log part, I don't even actually see a fireplace, which is a little bit strange. Alright. Try to get out of here without falling. Alright. Yeah, I have no idea how old this could be. I mean, I guess it could be. It's really interesting that it's log, but oh look, that's probably the chimney right there. Old stone chimney pile. It's probably the original section right here. Yep, that's what it is, you know. I'm gonna be careful where I'm walking, but the front part we're looking at is an addition. This is the old part of the cabin. That's probably the chimney stack right there. So this could definitely be quite old. Refrigerator, I'm not going to look in there. You never know what could be in the old refrigerator. Hey, no, I'm kind of serious about that. I don't want it to be the gross stuff like rotten food, but it could be gross stuff like, well, I'll just let it go with that. That's why there was no chimney in here. That's added on to this. That was the original cabin right there. Now, being where we are in deep in Virginia, this, of course, the main house, which is right up there on top of the highest hill on the property, would have been surrounded by other homes, probably a lot of slave cabins. And often on these plantations, the slave cabins would be like in a row, pretty close to the house. And but what I'm seeing here is I'm seeing all these old cabins kind of scattered about all over the property. So I don't know if these are slave cabins or what, but I just suspect they are. I'm looking down that gully. It looks like a big old hole down in there, but it might just be shadows. Maybe it's the same squinch. I don't know. All right, let's keep looking. I don't think I'm going to detect over here unless we can find some bare dirt. Looks like we had two buildings, two separate houses there. And so there could be many more, and if there's any out in here, these could have been like, if they were gone like soon after the Civil War, there won't be much trash. So let's walk around and see if we can find evidence of other homes. I just wouldn't be surprised if we find it. There's glass out here. That's probably from that one. Now, we should walk down there. We'll come back that way, maybe. I like to see that what's down on that bare dirt. Let's just walk out this road here, look for glass and pottery, and you know, maybe we might see a bear or raccoon. Trying to say coyote. You know, apparently there's a lot of coyotes back here, so we might hear them tonight. But let's just walk and see what we can see in the way of pottery. Oh look, see, there's a pile of rocks. Now you have to ask yourself, why are these rocks here? Because any typical farmer, when I say farmer, what I really mean is plantation owner, would have had these rocks removed from the field so that they could cultivate it. So I suspect these are probably pads for another building. Maybe a slave cabin out here that's long since gone. That's a piece of a brick right there. So what I'm going to do is just look around here, see if I can see any type of pottery or anything, because this is far enough away from that those other homes. Yeah, there's some right there. Okay, so this would be a good place to detect, because there's not going to be as much junk out here, because this was probably gone right after the war. We'll put this on the list of places to come back to and check. And I just got a feeling, having looked at what I've looked at on the property so far, that this whole property is just loaded with houses. Really kind of weird. Like a little stream or something. Let's pop down there real quick. Just kind of take a poke around, see if we can see any interesting things washed out of the bank. I don't know what could be back here. Sam squinches and rattlesnakes. This really is kind of a neat little stream. I think what we'll do is we're going to kind of walk back up it a ways and see what we can see. I mean, it's definitely bedrock here. Now, Scott has said he found quite a few arrowheads up higher near his house, so there could be some down here too. Could be mini balls. Let's look in there, see any mini balls? Wow, so much cooler in here than it is up higher. You know, this really does kind of feel like a whole different property when you get down here with all this water and stuff. All right, I'll be quiet. Let's look around. You know what? Here's what we want to do, unfortunately. Looks like the main branch goes up that way. This little side branch goes that way, and Scott's house is actually back up there. I don't want to be gone too long, so maybe we'll just hit the side branch today. If we have time, we'll walk up the other one later on, but I don't want to be too late because he is getting supper ready. I wouldn't want to disappoint him not being there for supper, because I'd disappoint myself if I wasn't. You know me, I'm always hungry. Raccoon tracks. All right, if I see anything cool, I'll let you know. We'll just keep going from there, what he said. So I'm getting up pretty close to the house, so I haven't really seen anything yet, but I just want to show you what it looks like here. I'm just following the stream up, and there's looks to me, I'm running into a lot of quartz and a lot of iron staining. So I'm kind of wondering if we might be in a gold belt here. If we are, we might have to grab our gold pans. I'll have to check though. Just a lot of these quartz rocks showing up now, and that's very typical in places of Virginia that I hunt that are in the gold belt. That is in the gold belt. Well, you know what I mean. Okay, we'll just keep going up through here until we hit the house. Hey, let's check out this little shack right here. There's a couple interesting things I want to show you. First off, I don't think this is terribly old. I mean, it could be 100 years easy. Well, it could be more than that for all I know. But what I wanted to show you in particular was, notice how these logs are set on these rocks, in front here. So that's why earlier in this video, when I talked to you about, and have talked to you about, seeing the rocks in the field, why are they there? That's one of the reasons, is they would put these cabins on rocks to keep the wood off of the ground so it wouldn't rot so fast. So I know we saw a pile of rocks over there, that there was a cabin just like this over there. And it's completely gone. It's just the rocks left now. The facts that here you can see that this is like an old square, part of a square for a carpentry square. Battery is a spark plug, so we know that this was lived in probably less than 50 years ago, or maybe 50 years ago, but it could have been lived in 150 years ago as well. We just don't know. Let's look around a little bit. I think you might be able to get in this one without getting crushed by, well, that's pretty bad shape too, isn't it? I don't really see a fireplace, so that tells me it's probably not that old. Have a look at that. I don't really even see stove flue in here, so this might not even be a house. This could just be a barn or something. Luggage, kind of cool. Make sure that's not an old Confederate jacket. I think we should pull it out. I'm going there because I can't pull it out. Let's just guess it isn't, since this golf club's right there. All right, so this is a building that doesn't have any way to heat it that I can see. So I don't know if that's actually a house or just an outbuilding, or another house that stood nearby, like that one over there, which you already looked at that. Let's just look around the ground here. I'm going to eyeball a little bit before we head back. Now this is actually kind of spooky. This property, I mean, you hear almost nothing except cars on the road when they go by. Kind of like that. But as I got to right here, it's like an amphitheater almost, like, well, the road's right up there. See how this is, I can hear like weird things going on that I've not heard before on this property, like voices. Listen. It almost sounds like someone chanting, or like water running underground. That's bizarre. I've been all over the side. I mean, I was just up in that shed right there, and you couldn't hear that. But right here, you can hear it. That's the weirdest thing. Maybe we should come down here at night and see if we can make out what they're chanting about. It's enchanting, isn't it? I have to admit, I mean, I'm not just like trying to be spooky, just to be spooky. That is actually weird. I mean, if I was out here at night, I'd be like freaking out right now. Not quite chills down the spine, but almost. Bizarre. Really bizarre. Well, here's another cool little barn or outbuilding or something. I thought we might explore real quick. This looks to be, look at how red that clay is. Wow, ant lions. Those are ant lions. Those are little insects that make, those are traps. The ants get down and then these little bugs come up and eat them. Yeah, a little log building here. Gotta be careful walking in here. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. Yeah, not a whole lot to it, I guess. Some animal dung. Take a quick peek. Critters have been chewing on the wood. Yeah, it's kind of a cool little place. No idea how old it is. Don't see anything too interesting in there though. Notice there's no chimney or any way to heat this, so this is just a barn. You see the stacked stones for so it keeps the wood level and off the ground. Let's look up underneath there, see what we can see. You always like to look up under them, see if there's any bartles or anything sticking out. Not really seeing anything though. And the bartle over there, but looks pretty new. This is kind of a cool little tree right here. Look at that. It's all wrapped around. That's what we call them, one of those Indian marking trees. Where they do that. Those are like symbols to find, I guess, caches of muskets and stuff. I don't know. Except the tree's probably no more than 20 years old. Right, Rob? Just kidding with you.
Mother Earth, you are my lady, my big round baby. I'll rock you until I go to sleep. She don't care if you're dying or if you're living or somewhere